Well, anytime we talk real estate, we always like to talk to Steven DeLisle with DeLisle Properties, and we have a lot to catch up on, including this property. We're going to tell you about that in just a little bit, but we always like to start with all the numbers, like what happened in November and what you're taking from that.
Yeah, absolutely. So as always, these numbers are presented to us by the Greater Greenville Association of Realtors. And if you look at the new listings slide, it'll show us that we're up 13.9% in new listings on the market this year as opposed to last year. The average price slide will show us that we're up 3.4%, bringing that average price to just shy of $385,000. The inventory slide will show us that we're up 29.6%. Now, what that translates to is 3.6 months of inventory. We've talked about it on here before. 6 months of inventory is an even market. For every one buyer, one seller. Anything below that is still a seller's market. So we are still in a seller's market.
So always some good information to kind of take in when you're making that big decision about where you're going to buy or if you're going to sell. We always have to talk about the houses that we're in. This is a spectacular unit that they have here. Great neighborhood, Simpsonville.
Absolutely, yeah. So the address on this one is 221 Riverwalk Drive right here in Simpsonville, Riverwalk neighborhood. And many different things I want to point out on this one. First of all, it's a 4-bedroom. All bedrooms are upstairs. You've got an open space here in the kitchen. They've done many different updates and upgrades since I helped them buy this house a number of years ago. They also have a new roof and HVAC unit this year. That's a very big deal. Cut down a lot of trees out back, still have a very private backyard. When you go step out of the living room into the sunroom, right here, the Florida room, if you will, also further goes out to the back porch, again, looking over that private backyard, which is really nice. And the amenities, which is really hard to find these days, is you've got a pool, you've got a clubhouse, workout facility, you've got miles of trail in and out of the neighborhood as well. And it's also located in a award-winning school district with Monarch Elementary, Malden Middle, and Malden High School. So it's a unicorn.
Yeah, I mean, definitely get in on this real quick because it's gonna go really, really, really fast.
Yeah. The other option in this neighborhood, there's only one, starts with an 8. This one only starts with a 6.
Okay.
So value for money is definitely there.
And it is a beautiful home too. So definitely go to DeLisleProperties.com and take a look at that. Since we have you here, we always like to talk about the market in general, how it's doing. What type of advice can you give us with that?
So I like to zoom out 30,000 foot view now that we're in December, and we started with interest rates around 6.5%. They dipped down about in the 5s 2 months ago, and we're back up at the 6.5 range. So what's helpful there is that we were much more stable this year as opposed to 23, where it was just so volatile and there was a lot of lack of confidence in the market. So as we just showed you, the numbers are still up in Greenville. The confidence is there. We have inbound migration because the average price nationally is $420,000. Here, it's still $385,000. So people are selling their high valued asset wherever they're coming from. They're moving here and their money goes much further. So that's a big deal.
That is a big deal. And for some people watching this, you've been giving us advice all throughout the year. What advice would you give the people looking to, buy or sell?
Yeah, my experience though is that people in December think about next year, of course, what their plans and their goals are. I would say my biggest plan for you and my biggest advice for you is to sit down with a local knowledgeable agent that's been doing this for quite some time, understands the different types of markets, not just the 2020 market. And if you're planning on doing it next year, I don't personally care if you're looking to do it in January or even in July. Sit down with us sooner so we can game plan and map out exactly what your goals are and get a plan of attack of execution so that we can accomplish your goal.
Seems simple enough to me. I mean, they definitely want to work with someone that's going to work with you, understand your lifestyle so you can get it done. They can always call the number that's on the screen. You can go to DeLisleProperties.com. Steven, thank you so much for all that you've done for us all year. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course.